I have to be quick about this because my tripod is cheap and terrible and it keeps falling over. And it keeps getting knocked over by a certain someone. Hello everyone and welcome to Skein Spider. Today we are making hanging baskets. So if you would like to make one or more of those, grab your hooks and let's get started. To make this pattern, you're going to need a 3.5mm hook, scissors, stitch markers, a needle, pins, stuffing, and the optional material of a key ring. We're going to start off today by making the hanging baskets, and for that you're going to need your 3.5mm hook as well as your key ring. If you don't have a key ring, that's alright. When we get to the point when we need to use the key ring, I'll show you some alternatives to using that. So we'll set that aside for now. And we're going to begin by putting 6 single crochet in a magic circle. Round 2 is 6 increases, and an increase is just 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Round 3 is 1 single crochet and then 1 increase repeated 6 times. Round 4 begins with 1 single crochet. And then in the next stitch we're going to do an increase, 1 and 2. And then we're going to repeat 2 single crochet, 1 increase 5 times. After you've done that 5th increase, there should be 1 stitch left in your round, and we're just going to single crochet into that. For round 5, we're going to be working entirely into the back loops. Now the back loop is the part of the stitch that's furthest away from you. So if you think of each individual stitch as a V shape, the part of the V that's furthest away from you, so for me that's at the back here, that's the back loop. That's what we're going to be working into. So round 5 is 3 single crochet, 1 increase, worked entirely into the back loop. At the end of round 5, there should be 30 stitches in total in your round, and then rounds 6 and 7 are going to be 30 single crochet each. Round 8 begins with 2 single crochet, and then we're going to follow this with an increase, then repeat 4 single crochet, 1 increase 5 times, and finish off with 2 single crochet. Both rounds 9 and 10 are 36 single crochet. Round 11 is 5 single crochet and an increase repeated 6 times. For both rounds 12 and 13, we're going to do 42 single crochet. However, for round 12, we're going to work in the front loop only. So before we use the back loop only, which was the part of the stitch that's furthest away from us, the front loop is the part of the stitch that's closest to us. So that's what we're going to be working in for round 12. So all we're going to do for that is put 42 single crochet in the front loops only. When you've finished round 12, just check inside your work and make sure that you can see the ring that's been left by the exposed back loops. If you can't see that, you're going to need to frog round 12 and then redo it in the front loops only, because we're going to need these back loops later on, so it's important that you have that ring there. But if you do have that, we can continue on to round 13, which is our final round, and that's just 24, no not 24, 42 the other way around, 42 single crochet, and this time we're back to working in both loops. When you've finished round 13, we're not going to finish with a slip stitch like we usually do with our pieces. Instead, we're going to go on to begin creating the hanging part of our hanging baskets. To do that, all you're going to do is when you're at the last stitch, so you've done your final single crochet, you're then going to chain 20. And 20. When you finish chaining, you're just going to cut a short tail and pull straight up with your hook. Now this chain 20 is how high I want the hanging bit to be. So if you'd like to make yours longer or shorter, you can do that. Just chain whatever amount that you like. However, you need to remember that number because you need to chain the same amount in the next two that we're going to make. So once you've cut your yarn, start at stitch number 1 and then count out until you reach stitch 14. And 14, insert your hook into stitch 14 and then bring in whatever color yarn you were using, and you're going to line that up behind stitch 14, yarn over and pull through, and then we're just going to slip stitch to join. To start off this one, we're sort of going to create a base, so we're just going to chain 1 into stitch 14 again. So it's going to be the same height as this because here we had our single crochet to finish and then we chain 20. So I'm just doing 1 single crochet as sort of a foundation, and then I'm going to chain 20 again. 19 and 20. And if you changed up your chain number, so if you did more, if you did less, just make sure that it matches the first one. So whatever you did in the first one, you're going to chain the same amount in the second one. From here, you're going to count from stitch 14, which is where we've just worked, to stitch 28. 28. Insert your hook into stitch 28, and we're going to bring in our yarn again and join it in the same way. Line up the yarn behind the stitch, yarn over, pull through, slip stitch, and then just single crochet into that same stitch to create a foundation. And then you're going to chain whatever number you've chained previously. So for me, that's 20. With this last one that we're doing, because we're only doing 3, we're not going to cut the yarn. Instead, we're going to first join this piece to the other 2 we've already crocheted, and then we're going to bring in our keyring. If you don't have a keyring, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this pattern first, but then I'm going to go over some options for if you don't have a keyring, so what you can do as an alternative. So from our 3rd series of chains that we've created, we haven't cut the yarn yet. What we're going to do is grab the first one that we made, and you just want to make sure your chain doesn't twist at this part. So the front and the back loops are all facing you, it's not all twisted up. And then holding the end, what you want to do is go through both the front, there we go, and the back loop of the last chain. So for me that was chain 20, there we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the second chain I made. So I'm going to sit that straight up and make sure the chain doesn't twist. And I'm going to insert the head of my hook under the front loop first, and then the back loop. There we go, that one was easier. Now things can get a little bit confusing here because we've got ends everywhere, but what you want to do is grab your working yarn, so the yarn that's still attached to your skein, and we're just going to single crochet. So we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through first the front and back loop of the second chain we made, so the one that we went into last with our hook. So pull through that, then you're going to pull through the first chain that we made, this one here. So you should have 2 loops on your hook now, and we're just going to single crochet to join them all together. So now they're all attached. At this point, you can bring in your keyring, You want to line up your keyring behind the hook, and then you're going to insert your hook through the center of the keyring. So my working yarn is behind my hook at the moment, so that's the hook's here, my working yarn is here. I'm going to insert my hook into the center of the keyring. I'm going to yarn over and pull my yarn back through the keyring like this. And I've got 2 loops on my hook now, and then I'm going to yarn over and complete a single crochet. And you're going to single crochet all the way around the keyring. And what I'm also going to be doing is grabbing these 2 ends that were left over from my first and second chain where we cut the yarn, and I'm going to work over those. So I'm holding those yarn ends with my keyring, and I'm just going to demonstrate how to do it again because it can get a little bit confusing. You're going to go into your keyring, straight into the center, yarn over and pull your yarn back through the center of the keyring, and then yarn over, pull through the 2 loops to complete your single crochet. So into the keyring, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over to complete, pull through to complete. And there's no set amount, there's no set number for how many single crochet you want to do around the edge. That's going to depend on the size of your keyring or whatever you're using in place of a keyring. So you're just going to continue crocheting like so, and then just gently push your single crochets together so that they cover the keyring, and you're just going to keep doing that all the way around until you reach the end. So I'm going to continue on. When you're finished, you're just going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that you made in the chain, around the keyring, not in the chain, around the keyring. And you want to leave a tail just long enough that you can weave it in through the backs of the stitches here. Now these 2 ends that I worked over, I'm just going to snip off because they're in the way. And then I'm just, oh, that worked well. I'm just going to weave in this end. Now that's done, and all I'm going to do is, I'm just turn this inside out for a sec, and I'm going to weave in these ends that were left over from when we joined to make our second and third chain. Okay, now that's all finished. I take all that up. If you don't have a keyring, there's a couple of things you can do. One is to just find something else that's, circular and of a similar size. You can use that instead. Number 2 is to make a ring out of some wire. So you just either glue or tape the ends together and then crochet over that like we've already done previously in this pattern. The other option is to not use anything at all, but just create a ring from some chains. So we joined the third, second and third chains together with a single crochet. What you would then do after that single crochet to join them all together is to begin chaining, and you could probably chain 10, maybe 12, it depends on the size you want. So create a chain and then join the end of that chain to that joining single crochet. So you've created a ring, but you don't have anything inside it. So again, you just join the 3 chains together and then begin chaining for however big you want your ring to be, and then join the end of that chain to the original joining stitch. I hope that made sense. So now that we've done the hanging basket, we're going to go on to create the dirt insert. And for that, you're going to need your brown yarn and your 3.5mm hook again. And all we're going to do is increase in multiples of 6 out to 42 single crochet. So we're going to begin round 1 with 6 single crochet in a magic circle. Round 2 is 6 increases. Round 3 is 1 single crochet and an increase repeated 6 times. Round 4 is 1 single crochet followed by an increase, and then 2 single crochet, 1 increase repeated 5 times, and we're going to finish off the round with 1 single crochet. Round 5 is 3 single crochet and an increase repeated 6 times. Round 6 is 2 single crochet and an increase, and then 4 single crochet, 1 increase repeated 5 times, and finish off with 2 single crochet. And round 7, which is our final round, is 5 single crochet, 1 increase repeated 6 times. And then when you're finished, we're just going to slip stitch, and you want to leave a fairly long tail for sewing. After we've made the dirt, we're then going to go on to make the plants, and we're going to do 3 different varieties. We're going to do a string of pearls, we're going to do one with some leaves, and then we're just going to do one that's basically a curly Q. So we're going to start with the string of pearls, and we're going to begin by grabbing our yarn, whichever color we're using, creating a slip knot, and then chaining 7. Into the 3rd chain from the hook, we're going to create a popcorn stitch. To do that, we're going to begin by placing 5 double crochet in the same stitch. So to do a double crochet, you're going to yarn over, go into that 3rd chain from the hook, then yarn over and pull through. At this point, you should have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2, and this will leave you with 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through those remaining 2. That's how you do a double crochet. Going over that again, you're going to yarn over, go into the same chain, yarn over, pull through, have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over and pull through the remaining 2. So I've done 2 double crochet so far. I need to do 3 more. When you've done that 5th double crochet, what you're then going to do is just pull up with your hook until you have a fairly large loop here, and you just want to be careful not to tug on your yarn so that loop pulls through. You want to leave that there, and then you're going to insert your hook into the 1st double crochet that we did. To make this a bit easier, what you can do is just count backwards from the last double crochet. So 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. I'm going to insert my hook here from the front to the back. Take this loop that we've left, and you're going to place that on the head of your hook, and once you've done that, then you can pull on the yarn to tighten it back up. And you want to pull this loop that we've just placed on our hook through the first stitch as if we were doing a slip stitch. So you're just going to pull that through and then chain 1, and that's how we do the popcorn stitch. To continue, all we're going to do is chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then we're going to repeat the process of the popcorn stitch again. So starting from the 3rd chain on the hook, we're going to do 5 double crochet in the same stitch, pull up with your hook so you have a large loop, insert your hook into double crochet number 1 from front to back, place the loop on the head of your hook, and then just tighten that up, pull it through the 1st double crochet, and then chain 1. So you're going to repeat this process of chaining 6, then a popcorn stitch in the 3rd chain from the hook as many times as you want. So you can make this as short or as long as you like. So with the one I already made, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 popcorn stitches. So in this one, I might make it a little bit shorter and only do 4. But after that, I'm going to make some longer ones that are probably going to be 6 or 7 popcorn stitches long. So 1. I've just done my 4th and my last popcorn stitch. Now to finish off, there's a couple of things you can do to make your plants, look a little bit different. You can chain one and finish off like that, so just cut the yarn and then pull up with your hook, or you can do what I've done here, which is continue to chain out for a few and then pull up with your hook to finish off that way. It just adds a little something to the plants, makes them look a little bit different. So for this one, I'm going to just cut my yarn and pull up, and I'm just going to leave this end hanging here, but if you like, you can either weave it in or just cut it off, it's up to you. So that is the string of pearls. What we're going to go on to now is the one with the leaves, and for that I'm going to be using a darker green. We're again going to begin with a slip knot, and this time we're going to chain 13. Starting in the second chain from the hook, we're going to do a single crochet. The next stitch down is going to be a half double crochet. So to do that, you're going to yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over and pull through. This will leave you with 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. The next 3 stitches are each going to be a double crochet. So a double crochet is the same as what we use to create the popcorn stitch in our pearls. So we're going to yarn over first, go into the stitch, yarn over and pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook at this point. Yarn over, pull through only the first 2 loops, and you'll have 2 loops left on your hook. Yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So we're going to do 2 more double crochet down the chain, and 2. In the next chain, we're going to do another half double crochet, and then we're going to do a single crochet in the stitch after that. And that is how we create our leaves. What we're going to do is repeat what we've done over and over again for as many leaves as you want. So I'm going to chain 13, and then I'm going to repeat 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 3 double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and a single crochet to finish off my leaf. So I'm going to repeat that pattern twice more. When you've made what's going to be your final leaf, so for me that's going to be leaf number 4, we're then going to work back down the chain and do leaves on the other side. So to do that, all we're going to do is, we should have done 1 single crochet as the final stitch in our leaf. From there we're going to work back down the chain that we've already made, and there should be 5 chains between each leaf. So you're going to work into the back loop of those 5 chains for 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the last chain. And then what we're going to do, if you look here, you can see there's a gap at the base of the leaves I've already created. I'm going to slip stitch into that gap like this, and then I'm going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Starting in the second chain from the hook, I'm going to use the same pattern to create the leaf here as I used for all my other leaves. So that's 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 3 double crochet, 1 more half double crochet, and a single crochet to finish. And then we're just going to keep doing what we did here. We're going to, I'm a bit twisted, there we go. I'm going to single crochet 5 times down the chain that's separating the leaves, working into the first chain, 1, slip stitch into the base of the leaf that I've already made, the leaf, that I've already made. Chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Repeat the leaf pattern of 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 3 double crochet, a half double crochet and a single crochet. And I'm going to repeat that process one more time. I'm going to do 5 single crochet across the chain, slip stitch into the base of the leaf, chain 8, do the leaf pattern. And then I'm just going to finish off by doing 5 single crochet down the original part of the chain that we did, where we started. 4 and 5. The last one we're going to do is probably the simplest. All it is basically a curlicue. So we're going to start off with a slip knot, and then you're just going to chain X amount. So as many as you like, or as few as you like. So I've chained 37, and then what I'm going to do is start in the second chain from the hook, and in that chain I'm just going to put a half double crochet. In the next stitch down I'm going to put 3 half double crochet all in the same stitch. So I'm going to do 1, go back into the same stitch for 2, and then back in again for my third one. And then all I'm going to do is repeat 1 half double crochet, 3 half double crochet in the next stitch along the chain for about anywhere between, I'd say, 1/4 and halfway up the chain, because that's going to create the tighter curl. So I don't want that all the way up my chain, I just want it to about here. And I'm not going to count how many I'm doing, because I want them to be different on each of these ones that I make. So I don't want them all to look the same. So I'm just going to guesstimate how far up I'm going to go. So I'm just going to keep repeating that pattern of 1 half double crochet, 3 half double crochet in the next stitch. So I've just finished on a 3 half double crochet in the same stitch, and then for the rest of my chain all I'm going to do is half double crochets. So that's just 1 half double crochet in each stitch. And then when you've done the last stitch, we're just going to cut the yarn, and as you can see, by doing the increase, the 3 half double crochet increases just down the bottom, it gives us a nice curl here. But where we've just done half double crochet, it's much straighter, so I like that effect. But if you'd like to have the curl all the way along, just keep repeating half double crochet, 3 half double crochet in the next stitch all the way along your chain. So now that that's done, you can go ahead and create as many little leaves and vines as you like, and just adjust as you go. So with these ones, just adjust the chain length. You can do more chains, you can do less chains. With these ones, you're just going to keep repeating that 13 single crochet, then follow the leaf pattern all the way along until you decide which is going to be your last leaf, and then you just work back down the chain. And then with these ones, you can just keep going and do as many popcorn stitches as you like. It's entirely up to you how big you want to go. But when they are all finished, we'll come back and we'll begin assembling our little hanging baskets. When you finish crocheting all of your plants, we're then going to attach them to the dirt piece. So you're going to grab that, and then for these string of pearls ones, what we're going to do is we're going to take 2, and then 1 at a time. So we're going to need our needle for this bit. We're going to take our needle and just thread the end through that, like so. And then all you're going to do is have the dirt facing upwards, so the right sides of the stitches are facing you. And you're going to insert your needle through the front, so the right sides of the stitches, wherever you'd like to attach the string of pearls. So that's up to you. You could attach them to the edge, you could attach them to the center, entirely up to you. And then you're just going to insert your needle through the dirt and then pull the end all the way through. And then I'm going to do a second one, so I'm just going to re-thread my needle, insert that into the dirt and pull all the way through. When that's done, I'm going to flip my dirt over, and then I'm going to tie these two pieces together. A bit tighter than that. And then just snip off any excess yarn. If you would prefer, you can sew the pieces down, but I just find this goes a little bit quicker and it's still pretty secure. So I haven't lost any plant pieces yet. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be placing 2 in, tying them off together. If you have an odd number of plant pieces, however, what you're going to do is in like the last one, so you've got 3 left, insert all 3 and then just tie those 3 together rather than just 2. Now with the other plant pieces, so that was for the string of pearls, but with the other 2 pieces we did, so the leaves and the curlicue, the way we crocheted those is we ended up with 2 tail ends at the end of the piece. So what you're going to do, instead of inserting 2 of the leaf pieces or 2 of the curlicues into the dirt, you're only going to insert 1, but you're going to insert both ends. So there would have been an end on this side, an end on that side. I'm going to insert both of those into the dirt and then tie those off together. So with those 2, it doesn't matter how many you do because you're only going to attach 1 at a time. With the string of pearls, we're doing 2 at a time. So I'm going to finish off the rest of these. When that's all finished, the next step is going to be to sew the dirt down to the pot that we've made. So I'm going to take this out because I don't need that anymore. So this time you're going to thread your needle with the tail end of the dirt. Helps if you have your needle up the right way. There we go. And then all we're going to do is I'm going to move these out of the way first, but we're going to sew the dirt to the exposed back loops. So we should have our ring of back loops here. Just fold down the edge, it makes it a little bit easier. And then what we're going to do is just sew that on, but we're only going to sew for about 3/4. So that way when we get there, we're going to stop, add some stuffing, and then we're going to continue sewing to finish off. So I'm just going to line these 2 pieces up. And if you want to, you can use a hair tie or something to keep your plant pieces together so they don't get in your way. But let's line this up. And then we're just going to sew these 2 pieces together. When you've sewn on about 3/4 of the dirt, we're going to stop and add the stuffing. Make sure the bottom of your pot is pressed down on a flat surface, and then just begin adding the stuffing. When that's done, just continue sewing the last little bit, and then we're going to weave this end in to hide it. And then when that's done, I'm just going to untangle everything. The strap's got a little bit tangled there. So now we are finished. Though what I have done is I've left a gap on the side of my pot here because I plan to add in some little succulents. Maybe not the pink one, I'll do another one in green. And if you want to do that, I have a 5-minute flower pattern that's really customizable and literally only takes 5 minutes. So I'll drop the link for that down in the description. So that's what I'm going to do for all of mine. So that's why I've left the gap. But you could add anything else. You could add some little cacti, whatever you like. But that's all we're going to be covering in this tutorial. So I'll see you guys in the next one.